Hello, people. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to be talking. I'm not going to be reacting to anything because I'm going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So I went a couple of days ago with a fam to see the movie, and I have a ton of thoughts, good ones. I'm going to start by giving a non-spoiler review. I kind of did one in a short not too long ago. It was like the immediate reaction coming out of the theater, and everyone loved it, including myself. Somebody even commented that they felt like they were on drugs.
You haven't smoking any pot today.
But I myself couldn't stop smiling, okay? It was literally a grin ear to ear for many reasons. And there was a lot of hollering and stuff. You know, I'm sure you guys are well aware that there are cameos going on. So, yeah. I thought it was interesting, to say the least. The humor. Of course, we're used to, anybody who's seen the other two movies, Deadpool movies, knows what kind of humor you're in for. And you should know, when you go see one of his movies, wherever he is, you know that there's going to be some irreverent, raw, sexually toned humor, right? You have to know that's what you're in for. You know, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but this is stuff that, you know, this is definitely the non-spoiler part. It's been said in interviews before that it's kind of like a buddy cop movie type. And this is why I kept making the mistake, because you see in the trailers that they go against each other. I kept saying Deadpool versus Wolverine, when in fact it's actually Deadpool and Wolverine, as somebody corrected me. It is Deadpool and Wolverine. And it's great. You know what? Contrary to what some people may be saying out there, I'll get into that a little bit more in the spoilery part, but it's a movie to have fun, all right? It's go out on a weekend night or whatever night suits you, daytime, whenever you want to go, just to have a bit of fun, just to have a few laughs, if that's your thing. If you're uncomfortable with some sexual jokes, then maybe it's not for you. If you're uncomfortable with things that are irreverent, as I said before, and, you know, a bit of a mockery of things, then maybe it's not for you. But it is meant to have fun. It's meant to be very much what the Deadpool character is, satire and mockery of other things in the comic book world and in the world in general. You know, he's a fourth wall breaker. So his thing is turning to the audience and asking questions and being like, what?
You what?
Okay, that's his thing. And if that gets you out of your comfort zone, then it's not for you. But if you're okay with that and you don't take yourself too seriously, it's probably for you if you're out to have a little bit of fun, right? So that said, I do recommend watching it. It was a very fun time, and both my husband and I and our sons enjoyed it very much. My sons are not toddlers, they are older, by the way, so they very much understand that type of humor. They get a lot of things that maybe even some of us adults don't. So anyway, yeah, that's that. I had a blast. Now, fair warning, if you have not seen this and you're still thinking about watching the movie, this is the spoiler part. So I'm giving you fair warning to stop the video now if you don't want to get spoiled. Well, it's very hard to, because I did get a few things spoiled. If you go on the internet a lot and you keep getting notifications of like comic book related stuff, chances are you got some characters spoiled, right? Anyway, spoiler part. I warned you. Don't say I didn't warn you. Right? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Oh my God, the cameos, right? I'm gonna get that out of the way first because that was what had us hollering and woo woo and like, almost on the verge of tears of seeing certain characters. Wow. Talk about cameos, right? The ones that were visible and in your face, and the ones that weren't so in your face, but you found out later on who they are, like the Deadpool army, right? What a blast. That moment was one of the many highlights, right? Nathan Fillion as Deadpool, Ryan's baby in there, Ryan's wife, right? Lady Deadpool. His version of the nice Deadpool was hysterical, right? Matthew McConaughey is the cowboy Deadpool, right? Cowboy Pool, whatever he's called. Anyway, the samurai, saw the robot one in there. It was just so much fun and such a big old mess, right? It was a welcome mess, though. It was meant to have fun. I'm going to get into why I said that later on. Right? But the real highlights for me were, it would have been Henry Cavill as Cavalrine, I think. Yeah, Cavalrine, is that what you call him? So I love Henry Cavill. But yeah, somebody put a screenshot online of that part, and that got spoiled for me. That really sucked. It's not nice to spoil things for other people, guys. Don't do it. Okay? But it was done anyway. And my dumbass saw some Comic-Con stuff, and I spotted Channing Tatum wearing the Gambit t-shirt. I was like, holy fuck. But to see him dressed in the outfit, that was great. Alright, yeah, some people said it was goofy, but the whole thing was meant to be goofy, right? He had like a poor Cajun French dialect, that's why Deadpool said, who's your dialect coach for, right? That was so much fun. And, Channing never takes himself seriously either. He's kind of like the same sense of humor as Ryan, so it made absolute sense. But where I went nuts and my husband went nuts was when Wesley Snipes showed up as Blade. What the fuck? Right? And Jennifer as freaking Elektra. Okay? But she's a beautiful woman and she looked fantastic. Okay? And then the other highlight for me was Chris Evans. Because I thought he was Captain. I saw a screenshot and I was like, I saw blue. I'm like, what is he, kind of like a Mad Max type of, this is like a multiverse. Is he like a Mad Max type of Captain America? He says, flame on. I was like, he's Johnny, yay! So that was pretty cool. And yeah, so those were like all things that got botched, that ended up in the dumpster, right? All those projects, and I appreciated all of them showing there. Now, let me get into a little more technical and serious stuff. What serious? It's not really serious. Regarding the plot line, right? Because I've heard a lot of people complain about the story not having a plot line or it being a poor kind of story. I never thought that this movie was meant to have a heavy, convoluted plot line, right? I just thought it was a movie that was meant to just have fun. And I think Ryan Reynolds started out with the intention of making this strictly for the fans, right? His big desire was to always have that moment with Hugh Jackman, and he said many times that, he always wished that Hugh Jackman would come back as Wolverine. So, as the fourth wall character that he is, he made it happen, right? That's how he starts the movie. So, I thought that made sense for the plot itself. Their relationship made total sense to me. And we get into the villain aspects, right? Yes, there's two. there's Mr. Paradox and there's Cassandra, but I felt like Cassandra was more of a circumstantial villain. You know, she's just kind of like sitting there in the void, right? You know, making her own little empire, so to speak. And then she comes across the machine, right, that Mr. Paradox is making, where she can get rid of all the timelines, and the void is just the only place, and she's the only ruler, right? And she's obsessed with power. Just typical standard villain, you know, I'm obsessed with power, I want to rule the world, right? I thought she also had a bit of a complex because I saw her face when it was suggested to her that, you know, Charles might have actually fought for her. You know, when Wolverine has that wonderful speech, you know, he would have, you know, fought hell, heaven, and earth, right, to find you and bring you home. Her face was a little distraught there. You know, I think so. She obviously has issues of abandonment, and this was her way to latch on to something where she felt like she was needed and loved and revered, right? Because that's her whole thing, I think. So yeah, I thought the actress was phenomenal. I thought her position in the movie made sense. Sense for her character to feel that way, you know, since she was discarded by the TVA and Charles didn't know about her, right? Because when they were babies, if I'm not mistaken, in the womb, they kind of fought each other for existence, right? And he didn't even know about her. So the TVA got rid of her, right? Sent her there. So yeah, circumstantial villain, as I call her. The big bad really there for me was Mr. Paradox, you know, because he was still an asshole at the end and lying and taking advantage of people, and he wanted to go back to the way the TVA was in the beginning, where it was pruning people, and he didn't agree with, you know, the way things had been, the way, you know, things had been changed. And now I get into something else that might be a little bit more uncomfortable to speak about. But, you know, this movie is meant to make you uncomfortable and kind of shift you in your seat a little bit, you know. Deadpool does that, right? He makes jokes about things that, while they are in a comic book universe, they are also cemented in reality, and he makes a mockery of certain things that are happening in our real world, and that sometimes makes people uncomfortable because they don't like to hear truths, even in the form of a joke. I honestly don't get how some people say it's a mess or it didn't have a plot line. Buddy cop story, two very simple villains, very clear what they wanted. It was a multiversal thing, yes, but they didn't throw you back and forth between different timelines as to where it got so messy that you didn't understand shit that was going on. Most of it was in the real world and in the void, right? So it didn't get that messy to me. I feel that. If there's anything else that you might have issues with, like him leaving Fox and going to Disney, and whatever your personal feelings are with Disney, and you're not comfortable with how they've changed and them getting out of the box a little bit more and not being the old Disney that they were, look, times have changed, guys, you know. It's time to accept other people for who they are and for what their realities are. You know, it doesn't mean you have to change your persona, your individuality, but you just have to understand. I don't want to get too political here, but you just have to understand that the world is different now, and there are people that maybe didn't have rights before that do now, right? And Deadpool is going to comment on that because he is a current character, so that couldn't be avoided. He was going to make jokes, he was going to talk about certain things that make certain people uncomfortable, and that's that. And you should have known that off the bat before you went to see the movie. And if that still bothers you, then maybe that's just what you wanted to do. You wanted something to argue about. It's, it's not that serious. It's a simple movie. Multiversal, yes, but, maybe there was other characters that, there was too many other characters and so many cameos and holy fuck, so many people in it. But in essence, down to the core, it was a simple movie. It was there for you to have fun. It was there to make fun of things, for you not to take yourself so damn seriously, because Deadpool sure as hell doesn't. He didn't take Wolverine seriously, and that's what's funny. Wolverine is a serious character, right? He's like holding grudges. He's so angry and everything, but he also learned from Wade, right? He learned from him, like, loosen up, like, open up yourself a little bit more, right? I like too that not only did Wade teach Logan, but Logan also taught Wade, like, hey, maybe it's not all fun and jokes sometimes, right? Those emotional, heart-wrenching moments where he has those like really intense speeches. It's like, you know what, dude? Yeah, it's okay to like have fun and games and everything, but sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up and realize that, there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes you just need to like realize that people are hurting. Yeah? And I think that was an important lesson for Wade in there too, that part of being a hero wasn't, right, what they say, that line is, it's not that you need to be a hero because it's what you need, you're a hero because it's what others need. Like, I thought that was an important lesson for him, and it's what he needed in order to understand what the whole thing of the Avengers was. All of the people who feel uncomfortable with things like that being said in there, realize that, sometimes it's not about your needs, right? It's about the needs of others, and everybody has needs, and everybody needs to be accepted, and doors need to be opened for everyone, not just a certain type of people. So that's what I thought was a really important message about the movie, and those are the reasons why I loved it, and why I would definitely want to see it again. Plus, there's so many little details in there that I think I might have missed because of all the the madness. In that madness, that visual madness, there was still a clarity to me. This is what this movie is about. I'm not there to teach you a lesson either, but what Deadpool does, and what you would hope these movies do, is that when you go see them, they make you ask yourselves questions. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I in the right place at the right time? Should I be asking myself other questions? Should I be looking at other people a little bit more and trying to understand them, rather than just having blinders on and staying to myself? Because it's easy to do that, right? We get so wrapped up in the bullshit going on in the world right now, and we're like, I don't want to see anything. I don't want to know anything. Let me just stay to myself. It's easy to do that. And it's not easy to connect with other people. Like, it's not easy for me to do this right now, but I do it. I got out of my comfort zone, out of my own little box, and I decided to do this YouTube channel, and I decided to reach out to you guys and see if I can connect with other people that feel the same way as me, or not. You're welcome to leave a comment, so long as it's not rude and it's not, out of line. You're welcome to leave a comment disagreeing with me. That's fine, because hey, maybe I can learn from you, or you can learn from me. Maybe I've said something today that's made you think, and maybe you're going to say something that's going to make me think, and I'm going to be like, you know what, maybe I need to see this other person's perspective. That's what I got from the movie. Get out of your own box, see other people's perspectives. That's what I got from Deadpool, and he was the last character I thought I would get that from. But yeah, I thought that was interesting, and this is why I needed a couple of days to do this video, and why I've had conversations with different people and what they thought, and those are my thoughts. So anyway, if you did enjoy this video and you would like to see me post some more videos, please share this video and get people to subscribe to my channel. I do need more subscribers. I'm hoping to make it to 100, and then so on and so on. Like, leave a comment, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted for my next videos. And thank you so much for listening. If you got to the end of this video, and to all my subscribers, I thank you very much. You've given me hope that I can get this going. And I love you guys. Please take care.